Hello, this is a brief overview of how to use the offline Sierra checkout, which we will be using during the day on September 23rd when Sierra is offline. So when you're at the circulation desk, you will notice there is a folder that says offline checkout. Inside this folder, you will find two files. One will be the Sierra offline circulation file, the program. The other is a PDF that is the offline Sierra checkout procedure. When we open the checkout procedure, this is what we're going to be going over quickly today. So this explains the process of how you should do things. And one of the things it tells you here is a nice tip is to sort materials when a patron brings them up by 1 week, 2 week, or 3 week checkout. We will also be making sure to put the dates that you will need to put in because you will actually be entering in the due date each and every time. So let's go over this real quickly. So here, if I open the offline Sierra, this is what it looks like. Okay. Everything else will be set up, so you'll just need to be checking people out. So you'll see here it says patron ID barcode. I don't have a scanner at my desk, so I'm going to type these in, but you'll be able to just scan and it'll move on. So I have to hit enter because I'm using it this way, but when you're using the scanner at the desk, it will just move on. Enter due date. You do have to enter the due date as month-day-year. And it is important to note that you do have to have the two characters. So like if I was to put the first date on that day that things could be due would be 9/30/2025. If I do that without the 0 in front of the 9, it comes up saying, that's not right, you have to redo it. So if I go 09/30/2025, the next thing that pops up is this hourly. Okay. Hourly is going to be no. We don't check things out hourly, so we shouldn't have to ever worry about doing that. So it's always going to be a no. And once you enter it here, it will repopulate that the next time it comes up. All right. And then it's going to ask you to scan the barcode on the item. All right. So here again, I'm going to type things in. Okay. And I can see the patron barcode, the item barcode, and the due date. Okay. So now let's say that's my 1 week item. Now I want to do a new item for the 2 weeks. So I have another item. So I'm going to go 10/25 because that would be 2 weeks. Again, the hourly says no. And then we'll enter the next barcode. And we can see those differences there. And let's say I have another one, but this is a 3 week checkout. So that's 25. Hourly is no. And the next barcode. And there we go. So there's my items. So once you are done, so you can see here it says scan in this document here, it says scan the 1 week. Again, you're not going to delete the B. It needs to stay there. And then you'll move on and do the same thing with the 2 and 3 week, just like I showed. And you'll keep going through. Okay. So when you get to the end, yes, again, repeat steps 6 through 9 as needed for the different loan periods. And it'll look like this. Okay. So when you're done, if you click new patron, it'll print off the patron's slip that you'll be giving to them. Okay. So when you do that, you see says scan patron barcode and it is blank. All of this stuff is still here. If you want this to go away, if you don't want to have to do this see this all over and over again, if you hit checkout, it'll make those go away and you'll still be looking at the barcode for the patron. This is roughly what it will look like. Obviously, the dates will all be different. It'll have their barcode number on it, and then it'll have the barcode for each of, this is their receipt. It'll have each of the numbers and the due dates that they have. Message lines 1 and 2, we will have message line 1 will say TB Scott Free Library. Message line 2 will have our phone number. Okay. And that's what this says here is if you don't want to see the previous transactions, you can hit the checkout and it will clear those and have a fresh screen. Probably a good idea to do that. It'll just make sure that you have finished checking the other person out and that you've moved on. You will notice if you try to enter, so right now this says patron barcode. Let's say I'm, not sure where I'm at, and I think I already scanned the person's barcode, and I want to type in, or I put in an item. It'll tell you barcodes should start with a 2 because patron barcodes start with a 2 and item barcodes start with a 3. So again, okay, due date, see how it came up with the last due date I had entered? So you're going to have to be mindful of that. Make sure you know what the due date is that we're going to be putting in. So, I mean, if that is the due date, I can just hit enter, and again, the N will be populated, and then I can type it. Now, say it has my barcode number up here, so I know that this is for the patron because it says scan item barcode. But let's say again, for some reason, I think I need to scan the patron's barcode again. If I do that, again, it will say barcodes need to start with a 3 because item barcodes start with a 3. All right, and that's all there is to it for you checking people out during when we have no Sierra on that day. 2884. Just going to put this one in again to kind of show. Again, if I hit new patron, it's going to switch back up here to say patron ID barcode, but this item is still here unless I hit checkout, and then it will clear that. Okay? Any questions, let myself know, or Erica, or Lori. When it comes to the end of the day, anything to send the file or anything like that, that'll be taken care of by one of us. You shouldn't have to worry about it. So really what you're mainly concerned with is making sure you're scanning the patron barcode when you should, you're scanning the item barcodes when you should, and you're making sure to put the correct date in for when things are due. Okay? Again, any questions, feel free to let us know.